Oh, talk to myself. Mic was muted. Schoolboy error again. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everyone's good. Welcome to episode 30 of Biggie Let's Talk. And today I'm with my special guest, and he's doing big things. And so today's all about alcohol addiction. So I want to bring Sonny up. But before I do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, show some love to your boy. So I've got bigger and better guests coming on as well. Not bigger than Sonny though, because Sonny is one of a kind. I've got some big names coming on very soon. Hold on, let me just sort my mic stand out. But yeah, let's bring Sonny in. Sonny, give me 1 second, brother. There you go, my G. How you getting? Can you hear me okay? Are you muted?
Close, man. Can you hear me now, yeah?
Yeah, that's brilliant. I thought you'd have made the same mistake as me.
No, you know what it was? Yeah, I'm using the laptop today, so I thought.
Oh, okay. How's things anyway? You good?
Good, man. Yeah, just busy.
Well, you're looking good.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get started then, yeah? Firstly, I need to apologize because we were meant to do this a month ago, but I got kidnapped by my cousins. And then I was like, you know what? I've let him down and it looks so unprofessional.
No, do you know what? Sometimes, like I'm a massive believer, obviously, when you'll get to know me on this podcast, things happen for a reason. Maybe it wasn't the right time then.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So I'm in a little bit of a better place. There's more things that have gone on. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
And now you've got this message in a bottle kicking off, haven't you? So we could talk about that. So, like you said, things happen for a reason.
Yeah. The message in a bottle. Yeah, I can briefly go into it. I can't go into it too much.
That's fine, man. I understand completely. Don't worry.
That.
Okay, Sonny. So first, tell me, where are you from? Obviously, the name says it. You're from Leeds. You're our kid.
Yeah. So from Leeds, obviously. So Don't Bottle It Up Leeds, but now Don't Bottle It Up Limited. Born and bred in Leeds.
What's with the limited? Is that because you had to make a few changes?
Yeah, because of obviously
and you're growing.
Direction we're going. Yeah, I was gonna. Obviously, there's the route of CICs and stuff, but they're very, very long-winded.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a few things in the pipeline, which that's why I've gone limited, so that potentially I want to start getting some like stuff out there and just to generate money as well. And then this stuff
of course,
yeah.
Okay, and your upbringing in Leeds as well?
Yeah, well, originally from Bradford.
Yep.
Yeah, originally from Bradford. So, born in Leeds, moved to Bradford. Was there probably until about, so it would have been the start of high school, 11?
Yeah.
12?
Year 10 or year 11?
Yeah. So I started, it was year 6, I think it was, year 6 or year 7, I can't remember. So it was when you went from primary school straight to high school.
Yeah. Okay, so any siblings? Or was it just you?
Yeah, I've got two younger brothers. One a few years younger than me, one probably about 20 years younger than me.
Okay, inspirations growing up?
Say that again, sorry?
Your main inspirations growing up?
My main inspirations?
Yeah. Apart from your parents, of course.
Probably my dad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, my granddads, both of my granddads, they played a massive part. You know what, my mum made as well. I had quite a lot, I was quite lucky because there was a lot of people in my family that were, always grafters, always worked hard, and
it's that generation, isn't it?
Yeah, I looked up to them a lot.
And obviously, because we're talking about your family now, where are you from in Punjab?
So, let me just put the volume up a little bit because I am from a place called Sharkot, and it's near Nugodar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it's not a million miles from thing. It's only like a small village.
Do you go back often?
You know what? Can I be honest? I have not been since 1999, maybe
Oh, that's a long
2000.
time.
Yeah, it's like it's the you know it's the age old story. A lot of my relatives are not there now.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone's out here or in Canada or America.
they're either in Canada, America, or here.
Okay, schooling and college, where was that? Was that all in Leeds or
So
Bradford?
primary school Bradford, um, high school Leeds, and then I worked straight after school. But then I dipped in. I dipped into college. Didn't really do college massive. I did it for about 3 months. But education wasn't a thing for me. My dad knew after high school that he said to me, "I'm not sending you to college because you knew what I was like." And he goes, "It's a waste of time." And
Yeah,
obviously, I wanted to go to college because of obviously the lads, and that I knew what kind of a laugh it was.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
But yeah, man, I won't lie to you. As soon as I left school, went to India, came back from India, my dad got me a job in a warehouse.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you take us back to when your addiction first began?
Um, Probably
How old were you then?
about 13, 12,
Really, that
13.
young?
Yeah, so what happened was I moved from Bradford to Leeds. My mum and dad were separated, and my dad was always working. He worked hard. My dad, he had his own businesses and stuff. So my grandma and granddad brought us up. So my grandma and granddad lived with us, and they used to go to bed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So we used to sneak out.
Yeah.
Side door, gone. You know what I mean? And there were a couple of lads on my who lived on my street, a bit older than me, that we met, and then a few other lads, from like around the area, and yeah, just wasn't nothing major though, just the odd beer and probably the odd cider, like
That's just like when you're younger, as you do.
yeah, and that's it, yeah, and then it was like I didn't never like the taste of it. I just did it because I used to see the elders getting drunk and having a good time, and I wanted that as well. So we kind of, as a 13-year-old, I was 13 going on 30.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
I'm in the
mean?
same boat as well. Like, obviously, luckily, I don't drink, so
Oh, well done, man. Well
which
done.
is a good thing. But then I've always been like brought up around like alcohol and the old like weed and everything. So, but I've always kept clear of it. And then,
Oh, well done, man. I mean, so I dipped into weed for a bit
yeah,
when I was 13, 14, but I never liked it.
this monks you out.
It never agreed with me. I used to always get paranoid, and I just got hungry. So, you know what I mean?
The munchies,
Yeah,
brilliant.
that's got the munchies. So it wasn't really nothing, that kind of entertained me. It was more the shrab or the alcohol. Sorry, it was
And the
more.
thing is, with us being from a Punjabi community, there's always booze around in the house, isn't there?
Yeah, do you know? So I can go back as far as when we were kids. Birthdays,
Yeah, party.
weddings. Frigging, someone buys a new coat, you have a frigging party. You know what I mean? And I was seeing that, but you know, that generation was different. All right, yeah, I saw the bad side of it. It was the 80s, 90s, so like it was different times then. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
thankfully not in my house, but I did see a lot of arguments and stuff and whatnot, and a bit of violence and stuff. Between husband and wife and stuff like that.
yeah. But that's standard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's unfortunately, it's horrible to say, but yeah, it was then,
Yeah, it
especially.
was then. Back then, yeah.
I can't talk about anybody else's family. I'm going to talk about my own, but
Yeah,
that's
of
what,
course, yeah.
and it was. But anyway, but majority of the time, it was good times.
It's like I can think now of about at least 6 places in my house where I know there's booze,
Yeah. Well,
and it is there.
my old man. So when we bought an house, my dad bought an house when we moved to Leeds. Started high school, then did an extension on that, and it was beautiful, nice house, man. Massive garden in the front, massive garden in the back. My granddad was. We had pear trees, apple trees, strawberry bushes, you name it, man. We had it, and you know,
Brilliant.
my baba, my granddad, used to brew his own beer in the garage. So he had one of them. Remember the white containers with
Yeah,
the logo
because
on it?
that's quite common up north on it. Up in like anything above like Birmingham is really common. Because I remember my uncles in Birmingham used to brew their own booze as well.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, man. He threw everything in there, and it was like thingy. And then my dad obviously built his own bar.
Yeah,
Made it himself. Nice actually. And then it was like, you know, it was kind of like the sharab was different. The alcohol was different. You were getting booze from everywhere. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
And like you go to a
it's
family
also
party and you got your older cousins pouring you shots.
yeah. Well, do you know what it was? So when I was younger, obviously we had this like a living room, front room kind of thing. We had its own bar and stuff. And my dad used to travel a lot, so there were alcohol from everywhere. I can even remember 151 proof Bacardi,
Wow.
70%. It was a pink Bacardi, pink bottle with the
Yeah,
lid on the top. You can't get it now, but it was. He got it when he went to America, and there was stuff like that. And you know, we had to obviously our job at that age was to bring in the meat, bring in the roti, the
yeah,
chapati, bring in the salad, and then when we'd go in, we'd sit down. And like I said, it used to be wholesome. You know what I mean? Listening to the
mm,
stories and you know what I mean. My
definitely.
uncles, it was good, man. You get like a quid here, quid there, and
And
you
like
know,
those days, the parties used to be like the long tables, wedding
yeah,
parties, when you got birthday parties, long tables, and all the boys sitting together, and like your cousins and the elders and that pouring you a shot, or
yeah,
you pouring your elders a shot.
yeah.
That's it.
It was mad, man. It was different, yeah.
Okay, what was the early signs that things started to spiral out of control?
Oh bloody hell!
So you're 13, you've had your first sip.
So 13, obviously, just dipping in and out. You know, I'm ashamed to say it, man. I used to freaking nicking booze from my dad's bottles and filling it up with water. To a point where, I mean, one of his bottles were like half water. You know what I mean? And like, um, I'd say 15, 16.
Really?
15, 16 is when I was drinking very heavily. I'll just tell you a quick story on that note there. I no, actually, I think I was 14, 15, around about 14 or 15, and where our local temple was, there was a hospital near it, and we went to the hospital. Behind the hospital, and it was like a little bit of a green area, and a few of the older lads and us went there, and we were drinking Bacardi, I remember. And because it's the first time I was drinking it, you can't taste it, if that makes sense.
You're
You
just
just
knocking it as well, innit?
you're just knocking it, man. You're just knocking it,
Yeah,
knocking it. And then I don't know what happened. One lad actually passed out. I remember. So we had to get him. Luckily, he was in the hospital.
yeah,
And then I don't know what happened was, but there was a main road, and so the Sikh center, the Gurdwara was on the other side, the temple was on the other side, the hospital was a bit further up the road, and someone had got me to the bus stop, but I was on the floor, I couldn't walk, and then there was a lad, older lad, he was about 2 3 years older than me. He picked me up from the Gurdwara. He was coming from the Gurdwara, he was coming from the
yeah.
temple, Sikh center or whatever they were doing, and he put me on the bus and took me home. So he knocked on the door, and I can't even stand up, you know what I mean? And
And he left you there.
and he said, Uncle, I'm really sorry, but I found him. And my dad was like, don't worry, thank you for bringing him home. And I was sick all night. And I remember that 7 o'clock that morning, my dad woke me up, and there was a local boxing gym what I used to go to. He took me to the boxing gym, and he says, I don't care if this guy throws up, passes out, I don't want his session to stop. Yeah, and that was it, man. But yeah, so early as 14, I was, and then I don't know what that was. That should have been a wake up call there. Do you know what I mean? I should have stopped from there, but nah, man, I just carried on going.
Okay, so when did you know that you needed help?
Oh, listen. So
So not the wake up call, but just when you needed help.
that's a difficult question, that, because if you imagine, up until 3.5 years ago, I never thought I had a problem. I thought I was okay.
That's the
Right?
first thing that people have to admit, that they have a problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
With
brother, I
anything.
thought I was all right. I thought it's normal to stay out for 2 days. I thought it's normal to drink, a bottle per person.
Yeah.
I thought it's normal to, and I'm going to be honest, and because, like I said, my sobriety teaches me to be honest, and cocaine played a massive part in my life, and I thought that's normal. I thought I could take as much as I want, drink as much as I want, so I never thought I had a problem. I thought everybody else had a problem with me, So yeah, so that's a bit of a
Okay.
difficult question. That I would say, looking back now, you know, 18, 19, I should have really got help.
Really?
Because I was bad. I mean, on my 18th birthday, we used to have this local pub. It was a massive pub, and when I used to say there used to be 40 to 60 guys in there. Do you know what I mean? All older, younger, and we used to, honestly, the pub was just overcome. And every race, there were, it was the most multicultural pub, man. You know what I mean? And everyone were brothers. Everyone got along, and I remember someone bought me the whole top shelf in a pint glass, and I had to knock it
For your 18th?
on my 18th, man. Yeah, and
Yeah.
So to be fair, 18, 19, I should have got some help. But you don't think like that. You know what I mean? You think, oh, it's okay, man. I want to act like my dad did, my uncles did. I want to be on that buzz. But
Okay, what role did mental health play in your addiction?
mental health played a massive part in my addiction, because I was self-medicating for years. So obviously there's personal stuff in my own family going on, quite traumatic stuff. Unfortunately, I can't go into it because
Yeah.
it involves other people that have changed their life now in my own family. So, but certain things happened, and I chose alcohol, and that was my escape. Because I used
Yeah,
to
I can
think,
imagine.
you know what, I don't want to be at home, not being able to sleep. I'll just go get drunk, come home, drink until I can't drink no more, come home, and then I'll pass out and wake up in the morning. I'm all right. It's because, look, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a very emotional person. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one of them tough skinned people, and you know what I mean. I take everything to, well, not now, but I used to take everything to heart, and like the certain little thing, I used to be up all night worrying about it, and alcohol was my way of not worrying. I didn't have to worry, man.
Okay, what was your first step to sobriety?
My first step to sobriety, again, right? It's a very, so let me take you to 2021, end of 2000. So end of 2021, I stopped the cocaine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was still drinking. So sorry, 1 minute, sorry. End of 2020, that's when I stopped thinking. And then end of 2021, that's when Christmas came, and I had like the biggest drink of my life, man. I was just, you name it, man. I bought myself a single malt bottle, really nice one, and just drinking and drinking. And then obviously roll on 2022, my son's birthday, a couple of days after New Year, and I don't know. I think I just had enough. I just felt like, enough was enough. And that's when my sober journey started, the 3rd of January 2023.
Okay, did you get any like help from like the Sikh temples or Sikh community or anything like that, or did they just say no, go away?
Look, I never reached out to anybody, because I was, you got to understand, I was playing a character. I wasn't religious. Religion didn't play a part in it. I wasn't bothered about the Gurdwara. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Only time I was bothered about going to the Gurdwara was when it was a wedding.
Wedding or family function.
Yeah, that's all I was, and I'm going to be honest now. Thankfully, I'm in a different place, and the Gurdwara is like home to me now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But back then it was like I never reached out to anyone. I won't listen to you. You could have told me whatever you want. I'll probably be polite and say, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I, when you're in addiction, doesn't matter what anyone says. So my missus, I've been with her 20 years now.
Wow.
She's 17 years. 17 years she went through. Well, 16 and a half, 17 years she went through my, addiction. So she was with me from the beginning till when I stopped. All the way through our relationship, and she used to say to me, you're drinking too much, and it's like, I had it. So obviously my missus is white, so obviously my dad disowned me. So we want to talk about racism, and we had racism on our side. You know what I mean?
Bloody
Like
hell.
my dad basically was racist towards her. Do you know what I mean? That's in a
Yeah.
way. Not in a. I'm not. My dad has his own things, but that's we don't ever look at it from that side, do we?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he said nothing horrible, but it was one of them things where she's not. But my dad was, one of them where you wanted to marry the same caste.
Yeah.
You had to marry the same caste. You know what I mean? And I never agreed with all of that. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
I never believed in the caste system and all that. And you know what I mean? And all right, fair enough. My cousins used to, when the songs came on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I never liked it, and it never agreed with me because I was always like, my brothers were like all different religions. You know what I mean? And plus, in my own circle of friends, we were all different caste anyway.
It's true.
So it never played a
Same
massive
as today.
part. Sorry.
Okay, so what helped you stay committed during the early days? So obviously you said your partner, you said your family, even though your immediate family wasn't there apart from your missus.
Well, I tell you what, my mum and my uncle was there. He played a big part. But do you know what? I couldn't tell you again. This is horrible for me because I try and go back, because I need some kind of understanding myself of why it started, because at least I can tell other people. But honestly, it's like I don't know if my body just gave up or whatever. But so when I got into recovery, I never joined no rehab. I never went to no meetings. I didn't know about anything like that. What you call white knuckled.
What's that like?
So white
Cold
knuckle
turkey. Cold turkey.
you're doing it cold turkey off your own
Yeah.
back, and it's very dangerous for some. For anybody, you got to understand that 28 years I've been in addiction, and it could be very dangerous for you to stop drinking or stop taking drugs. You have to wean off it, and I never knew about that, so I just went cold turkey and I white knuckled it for about 2 years. It was horrible, man. I was like violent. I was not violent, but I was angry. I
Yeah.
used to throw stuff and arguing with people,
I
still
rat you all the time.
doing the same thing, and thinking to myself, oh, 1 minute, I've stopped the alcohol, I've stopped the drugs. Why am I feeling like this? You know what I mean? And thankfully, it took until 2022 I started my sobriety journey. I would say end of 2023, beginning of 2024, I started to exercise, started to do meditation, and in our religion, in the Sikh religion, meditation is what we do. Do you know
It's
what I mean?
huge.
I never understood that. We go into the Gurdwara, we sat in the Gurdwara, you're meditating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, so I started learning, and I'm thinking to myself, it's been there all along. When I was younger, my nanny used to make us, on a night, we used to listen to part on a night. It used to be on in the morning and stuff, and
Yeah.
you weren't really bothered back then and stuff like that. And so yeah, I started to learn about how to control. So changing my diet, like I said, exercising, running played a massive part. I was 18 stone, nearly 19 stone, right? I went down to 14 and a half, 15 stone.
Yeah.
And when I started to lose the weight, exercising, meditating and stuff like that, then I started to see a bit of a balance in my body. And then, you know, I still had my dips and stuff. And then 2000, this year, beginning of this year, because I set Don't Bottle It Up in 2024, probably it was, you know, with the help of a couple of friends. And it was one of my very good friends. And, you know, I want to give them I want to, you know, send a love and prayers to their family. They lost
Brilliant.
my best friend lost their dad today, the other day, should I say. But anyway, one of his relatives, he gave me the name for Don't Bottle It Up. You know what I mean? And he says, "Look, why don't you tell your story?" And I was like, "I don't want to tell my story. I don't want to go online. You know what I mean? I don't want to. It's my pain. I want to live with it." So it didn't really go nowhere. And then, obviously, this year I came back on, tried again because I stopped with Don't Bottle It Up, didn't really do it with it, and then just came back on again this year. And that's when I started to learn about recovery and sobriety, what them things actually are.
Okay.
And I'm very thankful that I ran into my sober family. You know, one of the first guys is a guy from Scotland, and I came across him on TikTok, and you know what? He's been an inspiration to me, and he's like you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not gonna like go because he doesn't like that too much, you know, like thingy. But he played a big part in helping me, you know, to get where I am today, and I've grown with a lot of them there, you know, and we've got a WhatsApp group and stuff, and you know what, I've started to learn more. I'm doing the 12 steps now as well.
What is the 12 steps, by the way? Because I hear it all the time. What is it?
12 steps is, so you have recovery groups out there. So you have the AA, NA, and GA, whatever thing you have. And 12 Steps is a book, you know, where it was written in the 1930s. And I'm only a little bit, you know, into the book and stuff, so I don't really want to talk about the 12 steps too much because I'm very at the beginning, so I don't really want to kind of, you know, give the wrong information on it. It's just it's a book where basically it helps you come to terms with what you actually are. And I can actually say it. I'm a recovering addict, you know, and it helps understand what addiction is and what alcohol is, alcoholism. So alcohol is the physical part of it. Alcoholism is what's in the mind, and this is what it teaches you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that goes on with addiction, and you know that that I did not understand. Because, you know, when you look at the word addiction, it used to be a dirty word, man. It used to be like, I'm not an addict.
I'm not an addict.
I shower every day. I had new clothes on, and I had money in my pocket. I'm not an addict. I don't, you know, I'm not on ripped clothes and stuff like that. But that was the lie. That's the lie in your head, thinking that you're better than that, you know, than anybody else. But in fact, addicts and addictions come in all walk of life. So whether you're you know, unfortunate enough to lose everything to somebody that has everything, you know, the multi-millionaire could be an addict, you know. And then when you put a multi-million, you know, somebody of that structure and someone down here, addiction balances it out.
True.
You know, this is where the common ground is now, you know, and this is what I've started to learn. Addiction is not a word to be ashamed of now. It's a word.
So how long have you been sober now?
So I'm coming up to 3 years and 8 months on the 3rd of August. But
so how do you manage your cravings, or don't you get them anymore?
So again, it's hard, and sorry, I was going to say I shouldn't really look forward like that, even though it's only a few days away. I shouldn't really say that because we're only sober 24 hours at a time. So I take every day at a time. I'm not going to lie to you. I get up every morning. It's hard work, man. I have to do my same rituals every morning. So I get up, I listen to Bart. I do my affirmations. I listen to, and then I do another silent guided meditation. So I listen to Muji, which is really, really good. And I talk to like-minded people. I'm on this WhatsApp group, which I've got fantastic people on there. They're all like-minded, and you have to You have to surround yourself
With
with
that people,
people.
the same people, yeah.
Yeah. And the cravings, brother, look, it's like at the beginning was very hard. I couldn't even drink water out of a pint glass, because it was too much
It's that
sugar.
mental thing.
Mental thing. But the good thing I never did that non-alcoholic beer stuff. I don't agree with none of that. Brother, I think it's pointless, man.
It's
I
true.
think to
It is.
myself, do you
Because
know,
they still said that the 0.0.1 in there anyway. Not that it's
zero
going to
point
do
zero
anything.
point 0.5 or something, right?
Yeah,
But what it is, why am I going to spend £4 on a non-alcoholic beer? Just give me the real thing.
it's true.
Let me go enjoy myself. You know what I mean? Instead of costing me whatever. But it's and please don't think I'm got anything against anybody that does non-alcoholic beer. If you can do it, that's fine. Everything that I'm saying is from me.
Yeah.
It's far too much near the real thing for me. That'd send me straight back, 1,000,000%.
Okay, I know you don't want to mention too many personal things, but how did addiction affect your relationship with your family, friends, and work?
Well, I can talk about my missus because obviously I do this online now. So played a massive part, man. It was like, so my missus, like I said, I met, my soulmate. I love her. We got engaged the other day. So, but I want to talk. So what we did, I got engaged in 2012 first, but I only got engaged because I thought that's what you do now.
Yeah, with the trend.
So, it wasn't really sincere. I've always loved her. Don't get me wrong. I knew I was always going to be with her. You know what I mean? But back then I had the wrong intention. I was a wrong attitude. I was immature. I was a liar. You know what I mean? Dishonest. Just out and out wrong person. So we got engaged the other day because I'm ready now, my real self.
Oh, the other day.
Say that again, sorry.
The other day you said.
So what, to get married? When we're gonna get married?
No, when did you get engaged?
Oh, I got engaged on the 26th, 2 days ago.
Oh, congratulations, bro.
Thank you, man. So what I did was, but because I know that I'm the right person now. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But going back to the problems, you imagine, right? You got me. She's met me. We met each other we've known each other for a long time. We got together in 2004. Say, yeah. No, she's gonna knock me out. 2005. And I was still going out, whatever, coming back the next day. Oh, I've always done that. I didn't give a crap.
Because obviously we've spoken away from this, and we obviously know a few mutual friends. So I know the type of person he was. He never used to be home. So obviously I can imagine you were like that as well.
Man, I was worse, man. I was like, I can't talk about them and I don't know how they were, but me, man, I was bad. I just didn't care. I'd end up anywhere, and as long as I had a bag and a drink, I didn't care who I was sat with. I'd sit with random people. So, then my close friends who I grew up with in the Punjabi community, they started to distance themselves away from me.
Yeah.
They're thinking, this guy's off key, man. What's going
He's a
on?
wrong one.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously their parents probably started to see that, this guy is no good. And then my missus, obviously, she was seeing me come home, just my eyes all over the shop, my jaw going left and right. You're just not, being a horrible person. I would never come home and start kicking off, but just like couldn't speak and just like, you know what I mean? And what, go to bed, and then that went on for years.
What it is, I've done a lot of door work, so I used to see people locked you all the time.
Oh man,
trying to have conversations with me, and I'm like, bro, move away from me.
I honestly, it was like I've got problems now with my jaw.
Really, all because of that?
They click now. Yeah, they click sometimes, and I can't eat. So that's a massive side effect of cocaine, which is the most horrible thing, the thing that destroyed my life. You know what I mean? And my missus didn't know about this until later on in our relationship, and when she found out, she was horrified, man.
I can imagine.
She called me all the names under the sun. The names that you used to call people, that you saw on the street.
Yeah.
Because that's how she thought it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
by rights, really. You know what I mean? And then obviously came the lies, came the not answering the phone. I wasn't bothered, man. I just wanted to be out.
Okay, by now you've got children, haven't you?
Five,
No way, 5.
five, man. So I've got 19, 17, 10, 9, and 4.
Oh, you don't look past 19 yourself.
Oh, you do it for me, man. You're my best mate now. But
Brilliant.
yeah, you know what? I'll tell you something now. The sharab, man. You know the drink. I'm telling you
Yeah.
something now. It's like I aged backwards, because when I was drinking, my skin was really unhealthy. I was overweight, my face, but I'm quite tall. I'm 6'3". But I
Yeah.
carried it,
Same as
you
me.
don't look as big, when you're tall. And like when I started to drink, I realized my hair started to get better, my skin started to get better, and people ask, oh, well, what do you get from stop drinking? You become boring. Listen, no, that is a
You don't,
lie.
man.
You know yourself, innit? We can still have a laugh.
100%.
I'm going to go back to my sober family. The ones that I connected with this year,
Yeah.
bro. I have laughs with them lot, man. Like belly laughs. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's like when I go out now, because I don't drink, I have maximum laughs and jokes.
Because you know why? I shall tell you what it is with me. I used to be the joke. People used to be laughing at me.
At you, yeah.
Now I've got people that are laughing with me.
With me, yeah. See,
And
with me, because I used to work in bars and clubs, I always used to see all the buzzheads and all the mashheads. So I'm always switched on. Even like when I go to a room now, I'm always like looking around, seeing who's around, what's happening, always alert.
yeah,
But like,
yeah.
and
Well,
like,
that was me, man, at the door. Like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, horrible, man.
Okay, what's helped you opening up and going live with your story in public?
Say that again. Sorry.
What inspired you to share your story?
Oh, right. Sorry. So the first time I actually shared my story was just me on my phone. And I tell you, I was going to work. I used to have my own paint and decorating business, doing maintenance and paint and decorating.
Yeah.
I'd gone to Asda in the morning and other supermarkets. Thinking, but it was Asda at this point. And I went to Asda. I don't know. I bought a drink or something, and I came back and I sat in my van. And honestly, if you ask me why I started press record on my phone, I could not tell you. It was like a God moment, man. I just put my phone in the holder and press record.
And what did you say? Or what did you record?
Something like on the lines of, "Hi, my name's Sonny. I had a problem with alcohol, but not this energy what you see now. Just,
Yeah.
very drained and stuff like that." And I put it on Facebook, and a few people reached out to me, and then then after that, the first time I went like public with it was on Fever FM, a place called a radio station we got in Leeds called Fever FM. It's like a local radio station.
Yeah, yeah.
I did my first interview on there. That was basically my way of breaking myself down to help people, especially in the Punjabi community or the South Asian community, however you know, because there's a lot of stigma behind of admitting that alcohol. Nobody ever wants to admit it because of the shame and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what? I don't expect anybody to do that. I'm going to go on and I'm going to tell people what it's really like on my behalf. And I'm not saying that all people in our community do it. I'm talking about me. So if you're out there and you feel like this is you, then I want you to kind of like realize that it's not a good thing. So that's what made me go online. And you got to understand, talking about cocaine, talking about alcohol to the Asian community in West Yorkshire, where they know my granddad, they know my dad. It was no small thing. And I didn't do it because I thought I was bored. I did it because I thought, I can't just come on radio station, please don't drink alcohol, don't take drugs, it's bad for you. Who's going to listen to me?
No one.
So, I had to be real and I had to be honest. And I said, this is what I used to do. This is the mistakes I made. If you can relate to anything I say, fantastic. Please, look to get some help. If you're okay, then that's fine. Then all I've done is I've gone online and I've told my own story.
Okay, so opening up helped you and helped others as well.
I hope so. You know, but don't get me wrong, I got a few people reached out to me after that interview. It helped me massively. You know, it was like I got a lot off my own chest, and you know, and I started to kind of like, I felt even in the community when I went to the good lad, you know, my level, because you got to understand, I was always the bad kid, man.
Yeah.
No one's parents wanted me around them, you know what I mean? And
you know how up and on it, they say keep your sangat nice and tidy and clean. And obviously they don't want you hanging around with no buzzard.
exactly. But then now I started to see a little bit more where there was people, you know, people's parents and stuff were, you know, looking at me with a bit of respect now. And
Brilliant.
you know what? That was the biggest, that was the best feeling, you know, because I love, look, all my friends that I grew up with, and my dads knew their dad, my granddad knew their
Yeah.
granddad. I have a lot of respect for their parents. And it used to hurt me that I was such a horrible person that I used to make them feel like this. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
it was like, but like now, you know, I see them now and I can have a laugh with them. And I can, you know, and when you know when they're talking to you, you can actually see that they're happy to talk to you, and that's meant the world to me. That, you know, that's meant the world to me.
Okay. On an average day, in your peak when you were on the booth, how much would you drink, do you reckon? And what would you drink?
So, God's sake, man, bloody hell.
But I don't want to flood back the memories,
No,
but
no. I'm just trying to think. I couldn't tell you, man. Just I used to be one of them people, right? I just drank and drank and drank and drank and drank until I couldn't drink no more. But then I would get the bag. That'd help me go carry on.
yeah,
I'd be sick, carry on. Do you know what I mean?
that'll give you the pickup.
I used to drink until I blacked out.
Wow,
I couldn't even tell you how much I drank.
that's crazy.
You know, I will tell you one thing though. My daughter's 5th birthday, my eldest daughter, she's 19 now. In 3 days, we did nearly 12 bottles of vodka between 4 or 5 of us.
Really?
Yeah.
That is mad.
And you know, like I look back now, you know, it's like, you know, I'm thankful that, you know, I've been able to kind of overcome my own addiction.
Most definitely.
Up until now, because.
And have you ever had like? Did you ever drink any of those like the black can, the Looney Tins or anything?
The strong cans.
Yeah, the 10% plus.
Oh yeah, man! I remember once in Leeds City Centre. This is before I met my missus. Friggin' hell, man! I think I was drinking something called Special Brew.
Yeah.
It was I had a Special Brew or Super Tenants, one of them. Bro, I only had 2 cans and I was freaking.
You finished.
I was on cloud 9, man. One of my mates, Pakistani lad from school, he owned a takeaway in town, and he saw me. He goes, you know, what's going on with you? You all right? And he brought me inside the takeaway and like, you know, give me some food and stuff. And he goes, brother, I'm gonna get you a taxi, man. He goes, you can't walk around like this. I was, you know, honestly, I was in a bad, man. But yeah.
Okay, what message did you give to somebody who's suffering in silence with addiction? Because you started this amazing thing now, Don't Bottle It Up Leeds.
Yeah, I would say you're not alone. Don't ever think you're alone. Don't ever think that you are the only person with the problem. Don't ever think that you're the person that's caused. You're the only person that's caused problem. You're the only person that's done this. You're the only person that does that. Look, you're going to a recovery meeting or reaching a healthcare professional, and start. You know, when you start hearing other people's stories, that people that are like you, you'll be like, wow, I'm not the only one. You know, so please do not think you're on your own. Please, you know, play out when you're going to have a drink. What's going to happen? You know, if you can, and just get help as quick as you can. You know, what I would say is don't go online. Don't go on social media and start talking to people on social media. You know what I mean? And because one thing I will say, and a lot of, you know, my friends, you know, who do their own social medias, we're not going to help you get sober. I can't help you get sober. You know, all I can do is tell you my own story, you know, and hopefully you can find something in my story to say, you know what?
Click in your head.
Yeah, because if I ever tell you, you know, if you ever come onto my live and think that I'm going to make you sober, please disconnect, man. Go see somebody who's a professional, because, you know, we have a duty of care as people that are on here You know what I mean? Whether we have a small following or a large following, and it has to be the right message. The right message is I'm only on here for inspiration and motivational purposes only. And I want to be the voice of people that don't want to put their stories out there. So, like I says, I'm the guy that's going to break myself down to build other people up.
Fantastic. Okay, what does being sober look like now in society?
Oh, I'm
Because
going to tell you
you
something
touched
now.
on it a little bit, like when you go to the Gurdwara, when you go to the temple, everyone's like, "Oh, there's sunny now," where before it used to
You know
be,
what?
"Oh, there's
Yeah,
sunny."
it's nice, man. I speak, everybody, I go in, I speak to everybody, I go sit down there now, and I'm there for a reason. I'm not there just because, I'm not there just because, oh, there's a BR on, I'm there to show my face on camera so I can get off to the pub. I'm there for a reason. I'm there because I want to surrender, and I want to thank God for
Yeah,
giving me this chance, to prove that I am a good person, to prove that I am better than who I was in pre 2022. You know what? I am gonna say, for me, the sober side of life is absolutely fantastic. Am I rich? No way.
no.
I got listen. I got no money, cars, house. Sack. I'm not bothered about that. I'm rich in love for my family, my missus, my friends that I've connected with now, and I call them my family. You know what I mean? And
Obviously, I follow you a lot on social media, so I see you going for your walks in the lovely countryside,
yeah, even
and
that,
it's amazing. It's
even
fantastic.
getting, yeah, even getting up this morning and that, like I had a bit of a dodgy sleep last night, but I got up this morning and I put my stuff on. I went for a walk for about 2.5 hours.
Brilliant.
It was lovely, and even that there, that's a gift. That's a gift being able to go out and enjoy
Definitely.
because before you got to understand, my curtains were shut
Yeah.
for 2 days. I used to get
Okay,
up,
good. Going
shower,
back to the personal side,
yeah.
how's things with your dad now? Have they improved?
With who? Sorry.
Your father?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't see my dad as much because obviously he has his own life. I've got my own life,
Yeah.
and I I kind of don't go visiting people if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm my own person. My house is where I like to be.
I was gonna say you got 5 kids. You're a busy man.
Bro, do you know what it is? This is the team, right, that have stuck by me. My missus has stuck by me for 17 years of
Wow.
lies, of not knowing where I've been, you know what I mean, and coming home in all states and whatnot. She deserves me now,
Yeah,
not
it's her
nobody
time.
else. Do you know what I mean? And so that's what I'll continue to do. And she's my main focus, and my kids as
Okay.
well.
Don't bottle it up, Leeds. What's the future for it?
Don't bottle it. So don't bottle it up. Yeah, the future probably. I'm looking
Because
at.
it's growing.
I want to. You know what I want to do? I want to eventually. So I've spoke to my local the Gurdwara, yeah, in Leeds, and I'm looking at starting something like a community day, one day a week,
Brilliant.
where I'll go down and we can do Seva the Gurdwara, which is work. So we can do maintenance, painting, tidying, whatever needs doing around there. But we can have a tea, and if somebody's got an issue or somebody who's going through a bad time, come down. I'm not saying that we're going to come down there and it's become, a Punjabi alcoholics, thingy. It's just
Yeah.
going to be a place of well-being, where people can come down. They may be struggling with alcohol, they may be struggling with whatever, but they could just come down and speak to people in the same boat, but also give back to the Gurdwara of the temple. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
But how bad is the addiction problem in Leeds? Is it
I
quite
don't
big?
know. You know what?
Is it like everywhere else? Because
It's
obviously I'm from down
like I
south.
said, I couldn't tell you because you know I don't know. I don't know what it's like down London. I don't know what it's like down anywhere else. From what I've seen in Leeds, personally, yes, is bad. But one addict in one city is bad.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
And one
Have we
addict to
got
one
more
city is going to
addicts
need
than
another
anywhere
addict to
else?
drink with.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say Leeds has more addicts than anywhere else. I can't say that. I don't have the facts. But what I'm saying is, one addict who's suffering in a city is one too many. So we're all together, man. And like I says, I want people to realize that, don't be ashamed. Don't feel like you're on your own. Don't feel like life is just addiction. You're just going to be that for the rest of your life. Use me as an example, man.
Getting towards the end now, but if you could go back and speak to a younger Sonny, what would you say to him?
You know what? It's a hard question, but just don't try and copy what your older people was doing. Don't try and associate them drinking with happiness.
Yeah,
because that's what I was chasing. You know what I mean?
You chasing the happiness, that buzz.
Yeah, but again, it's like, do I regret anything that's happened in my life? No way, because I wouldn't be here now. I don't regret a single thing. I'd probably say to my younger self, mate, you're gonna have the most rubbish ride of your life.
A rocky ride, yeah.
But just stick in there, it'll get better.
Okay, you're young, but you said you got two younger brothers. What do they do now?
So one's got his own business and another one works. I'm going to be honest again, I don't really have much. I'm not falling out with them and whatever like that, but they live their own life. I live my own life.
You live your own.
It's only because I keep myself to myself now because I need to protect my own energy. I need to be the person I am now. Because don't get me wrong, I'll always be there. If there's a knock on the door, whatever, I'm here. Does that make sense? But I just let everybody get on with their own life. I need to keep this Sonny where he is now. For myself first, but also for my missus and my kids. Because like I said, my family, my immediate family, my brothers, my dad, whatever, they've had all my attention, even when I was with my missus. She always came last to everybody. So now she comes first. She comes first, man. Yeah, 1,000,000%. Because like I says, she was the strongest person in my relationship. You know what I mean? She held the family together. She raised them kids by herself. You know what I mean? I was there, don't get me wrong. All right, yeah, money, whatever, working, that's I was present, but I wasn't present.
You wasn't taking,
Yeah.
Okay, finally, before we go, where can people find Don't Bottle It Up Leeds on social media?
Don't Bottle It Up. My main platform is TikTok. So if you type in Don't Bottle It Up Limited, you can come onto TikTok where I do a live share every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Yeah, and I've got an X account, but I don't really use that. I don't know much about the X account, but yeah, just on there. So obviously there's I'm doing something that you mentioned with message in a bottle, but what it is, it's something. Go on my social medias and you'll see what that's all about.
But I like that. I like the suspense that you're keeping us in. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. But I've seen loads of little promos on it.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Like I says, a very good friend's done a promo on his channel as well for me, because he played a massive part in it. So, like I says, obviously, I'm one of them, man. I try not to say too much because I always feel like, and it's the wrong attitude because it's the product, man. I should be shouting from the skies, but you know what? Like I said, I don't really want to come on here try to promote like a business or like that because, like I says, I gave up a very good job to do what I'm doing now, a very well paid job. So it's not about the money for me. It's about I want to give back to everybody. And we talk about the Punjabi community, but my community in Leeds is everybody. I've got family, white, black, all colors. They're my family, and I treat them all the same.
Perfect.
And they're my community, and I feel like I've got an obligation to all of them now, and to kind of, keep doing what I'm doing, so that hopefully the younger generation maybe might see, oh well, you know what, this guy's he's whatever, and yeah, that's my main aim. And like I said, Don't Bottle It Up. I want to try and come into Gurdwara now.
Yeah, do it. It's fantastic.
Around the country, so. If there's anybody out there that knows how I can start, let me know, man. But I want to do that because, like I said, and I'm not saying I'll come to the Gurdwara and they have to pay me. No way, man. It's saver. I'll come to the Gurdwara and I'll speak and I'll tell the truth. I'm not going to go standing where we do, Matatek, and I'm not going in the main hall or what like that and start talking about what I'm doing. But if there's a like a community center that we can go to, and I'm happy to tell my story and tell them what problems it caused me and how I'm living now, because this is what it's all about. We can always talk about the old stories and stuff like that. I want to talk about more now, how
about the happiness you got now.
Yeah, I'm happy, man, brother. I've connected with some fantastic people, and you know what? Just very quickly, I know that we're running out of time. My dad, my one lesson, my dad, because you understand, even though me and my dad might not be on there, he was a good man. He gave me everything. He gave me everything, man. Anything we wanted. Jackets at school, man. I was wearing £120 starter jackets. From Foot Locker.
Yeah.
I was wearing pods. I was wearing kickers and stuff like that. So there was nothing like that. But he said to me, as you get older, the less friends and the smaller your circle get, the more successful you are.
Yeah.
And you know what? I totally agree, and I understand that now.
100%.
But yeah.
But Sonny, I just want to thank you and wish you all the best in your journey. Keep in touch. I know we keep in touch because we're always in touch anyway.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Like I said, look, you've got a friend in me. We know this. We've got a
we've got a similar crowd. We know similar people.
But can I just quickly finish on this? If there is anybody out there that's struggling right now, please go see a healthcare professional. Please don't feel ashamed. Please don't think that people are going to laugh at you, people are going to put you down, or people are going to think less of you. Honestly, the truth will set you free. So on that note, please.
Fantastic message, Sonny.
Stay sober.
Thank you very much, my brother. Big love and all the best, yeah?
All right.
Don't bother up, Leeds. Thank you. Take care. Big love.
Bye.